Welcome everybody. Come and join me now. We're going to be reading about technology. Something quite strange that happened actually. It's almost unbelievable. Yes, there's going to be tenses, of course. There's always tenses. We're always practicing tenses, aren't we? I think it's not possible to practice English without practicing tenses. If you have any questions though, come and ask. Hello, Ada, is it Ada?
Yeah. Yes.
Hello there.
Good morning.
Hi. And I don't think we've met, so could you just tell me where you're from and what you're doing and your English? Where do you live?
Hello, good morning.
Hello. And Juliet, I see you there.
Yeah, hi. Sorry.
Okay, Ada, yeah, where are you from, Ada?
Yeah, I'm from Spain.
Oh yes, we seem to have quite a few Spanish people here in the mornings.
Yeah, yeah.
And my classes last week were from Spain too, in England. So, where are you in Spain?
I'm in Salamanca. It's a little city really close to Madrid.
I haven't been to Madrid. I haven't been to the centre.
Really?
No, I've only been to the south of Spain.
And to Andalusia?
Well, I went past one city which looked quite normal, which was Alicante.
Alicante.
But then I went to a really crazy place called Benidorm, and I just stared at it, and I was amazed.
It's like a tourist trap or a tourist.
It's really strange. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Yeah, it's made just for holiday. It's a place for going for holiday for the elderly people and for people for their countries, that because it's quite cheap. It's cheaper compared to their countries.
Yes, I went there because years ago I just suddenly had a week's holiday without anything being expected, and then I thought, let's go somewhere, and I checked, and they said you can go for a mystery tour to Spain, and it was very cheap. So I said okay, and I went, and that was it. But it's a very strange place. So now, hello, Antonina as well. Hello, are you on the mic there?
Hi.
Hi there. And where are you from?
I'm from Russia.
And which part of Russia?
St. Petersburg.
Ah, beautiful city, St. Petersburg. One day I hope to go there. Were you born there?
Yes, I was born here.
So we've got a bit of noise there on the mic, Juliet. I think you're shuffling your papers by your microphone. So I've just muted.
I will unmute next time.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, so just mentioned it. So that's no big problem. We just have to be careful. That's right. So, okay then, let's get started because probably more people will come into the room now, and we'll get a chance to speak to everybody. Oh dear, I've done the same thing as I did before. My battery's not in, and I've got to reload all of those. Oh dear. Maybe I can get away with it. Let me just a moment. I've just had to plug in because I didn't have my plug in. Okay, I'll click cancel the change of the screen. That's good. Everything's okay. So we have some text and a problem. The problem is that if I show you the text here, there are some paragraphs in brown. Can you see there's number 1?
Yeah.
There's number 2. There's number 3. All of these brown paragraphs, we don't know where they go. And we can move them with the arrows. So I can push one up like this, and they change. So now we have to figure out later where they go, if we can. So it's a little tricky. The first thing we do is read the rest of the text and just try to understand generally what it's about. So we've got to choose which of the paragraphs fit into the numbered gaps. This one, A, the agents had informants who cruised the internet and one of these made the breakthrough. That data stream cowboy hung out at Cyberspace, an internet provider, service provider based in Seattle. That could be in the wrong place and we might have to move it away. So it could be in the wrong place. It's not even moving right now, I don't know why. Ooh. So we start off with the text here. And I'm going to ask first reader, Ida, can you read the, is the text big enough for you now?
Yes, yes.
So, could you start reading the first paragraph, please?
Okay. On the evening of April 15, 1994, 6 American special agents sat in a concrete basement at a secret Air Force base patiently waiting for an attack. Their unseen and unknown enemy had for weeks been rampaging across the Pentagon network of computers, cracking security codes and downloading secret files. Defense officials feared the infiltrator was a foreign agent. They were monitoring his movements in a desperate effort to trace him to his lair.
Okay, nice reading. Let me just mention one or two words, though.
Okay.
Maybe like foreign, the stress pattern on foreign, desperate effort to trace him to his lair. Yeah. Do you know what that word means, lair?
No, I don't know.
Has anybody seen that word before? L-A-I-R, lair. I've seen it with a lion. Who can explain that word with their own words, maybe, first, before we look in the dictionary?
It's a base or shelter, something it?
Some kind of place, yes.
Shelter.
Maybe a bit like a den. So the dragon's lair is a place where the dragon waits for people. He might live there too. Trace him to his lair. So it's his place where he lives, really, or works. Now,
can we say accommodation?
Yeah. Can we say what?
Accommodation.
Well, it's got some connection to accommodation, hasn't it? But it has a different feeling.
There is
It's
not
a bit like it might be a bit more secret, maybe a bit dangerous, and maybe unknown. So lair. Yeah. A bit more like a den. I think den is closer. So, Ida, look through the paragraph, paragraph 1 there. Choose another interesting word, but don't tell me the word you're going to choose.
Yeah.
Just do some describing for me, and we will all guess which word you are speaking about.
Okay. Okay. When you try to find out or to look for something that it's new for you, you don't. I mean, you don't. I can use the word, the similar word. You can imagine how it is, but you have never touched it or been with it. It's something new for you.
Is it a verb?
Yeah.
So everybody, look for a verb that Ida is describing now. Say some more things about it. So
For example, when you, if you, if I don't know how to explain it.
I'm not sure which verb you mean yet. I'm looking. I'm just trying to look through the text to see if I can find the word that Ida's talking about.
In the text, it's used as an adjective.
Is it an adjective in the text? Okay.
Yes, you can use it as a verb, but it is used as an adjective.
Now when you change it from an adjective to a verb,
yeah,
does it change the spelling and change the word? Because sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes the same word can be an adjective or a verb. Sometimes we have to change the word. So in the text as an adjective,
yes,
it's a different spelling to the word as a verb.
No, it's not the different spelling, but it is in the negative.
Okay. I'm still looking. Can anybody help us find it? So carry on describing it. I just try and say, maybe you can say some combinations or some expressions which use this word.
I have a guess.
Try it.
Try guessing if you know.
It's the word unknown.
Yeah, is that word?
Unknown. Okay. Yes. Okay. Great.
Great description.
Let me find another word there. I'm going to choose one more word which I think is slightly interesting. There are two interesting words I can see actually. So I'll do one more here. This is a person, so it's a noun. Somebody who breaks into something or goes into a place.
Infiltrator.
Yes, infiltrator. I recognised Igor there. Yes, hi there, Igor. Didn't see your picture there, but I heard your voice. I recognise your voice. Infiltrator. Yes, you're good at this, aren't you? So, Ida, there's one or two quite interesting words in that paragraph. So, do you have another one which is interesting that you could do now? I quite like a word. I won't mention it yet, but what do you think? Have you got another one?
No.
All right, I'll do another one. This is something a bit like a lot of people, a bit out of control, running across, maybe even animals, out of control and a bit, maybe panicking. Rampage, yes, a rampage would be the noun, and rampaging, yes, that was my word. So let's move on now. We first need to try and understand the text, and then hopefully later we're going to try at least to put in the extra text into the right place. That's quite difficult. So, Allah, are you there, please? Al-Ghanem, are you there? Allah? Looks like you're not there, but the rule in the class is that you have to be on the mic. So if you're not on the mic, then you might lose your place because we need people here on the mic speaking. Allah, you're taking a picture, but are you going to actually read to us? Otherwise, it will be Antonina to take the second paragraph. Okay, Antonina, can you take the second paragraph, please?
Okay. He has first been spotted by a systems manager at the Griffith Air Base in New York State, the premier command and control research facility in the United States. He had breached the security system and was using assumed computer identities from the airbase to attack other sites, including NASA. He was also planting sniffer files to pick it up every password used in the system.
Okay, first question for you is that words like sniffer files, we have to just try to understand what they mean, and I can guess a little bit about what they mean. What do you think?
I know what it is.
Can you tell us a bit about those? Describe those to us.
Well, sniffer file, it's like a virus, but it's actually a file, and if it's in your computer, it can simply
does it transmit information?
Yes, it finds out every password and login you use, and then it sends it information to the person who put it into your computer. So it's a very, very bad program.
Ah. Now, find another interesting word, maybe just a single word. I think this paragraph is not quite as interesting with regard to interesting words, but maybe you can find one that's the most interesting and try to describe it.
Okay.
Teacher,
Fahad,
teacher, what
yeah?
does what does the premier mean? What is the
Well, I would
meaning
say
of the
premier.
premier?
I say premier, but it means the top, first. Actually, it means first in literally it means first, but here it means the highest, the first, the top. Like the premier could be the prime minister or the president.
Yeah.
So the premier command and control research facility. It's like the head office, the head control research facility. So Antonina, can you find a nice word?
Yes, it's a verb. It means breaking into something.
Attack.
No.
Breach.
Breach.
Yes, it's
It's
breach.
breach.
Yeah, now that's quite interesting, that word breach. So, breaching something, breach, yeah, a security breach. It's a collocation, really, because we often use breach for security, but not attack. So, good one, a breach of security. Yes, a security breach. I've heard that many times. And right, let's move on then, because we've got a lot to do. This part, just reading to find out what's happening, is the easy part. You know, when it comes to putting these inserts in the right place, sharing screens, that's going to, I don't know if we will even be able to do it. We'll have a go. So next, Azad, I'm going to move the screen down and see if you can read the third paragraph. It's not too long, but please read that.
Okay. The computer specialists from the Air Force Office of Special Investigations were dispatched to Griffiths Air Base to catch the attacker. By the end of the second week of their attempt to outwit him, their windowless basement from 20 was a mess of food wrappers, sleeping bags, and empty drinks cans.
Yeah, it looks like they were staying there a lot of the time and not going home. But, okay, can you do the same then? Find an interesting word. That was well read, by the way.
To try to find something by or how to
Catch.
no, I mean the different word. Maybe they are synonyms.
Attempt. Attempt.
No, I didn't.
What was your clue? Can you give me your clue again? What did you say for your clue, Azar?
Clue to try to find something by what to say, by exploring something, by studying, by examining something.
So when you said explore and examine, I started to focus on another word.
Investigations.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's what I turned to as well.
Maybe I didn't identify the word correctly.
Well, you threw us off track a bit with try. When you said try, Igor and I were looking at attempt. But then when you said
to analyze,
yeah, then it started to move towards investigation and investigate. Okay, good. So Farhad, are you on the mic?
Yeah, teacher, I'm on the mic. Yeah.
So this is actually called paragraph 4, but I should label it. But could you read it for us?
Yeah. They carefully tracked him on a computer screen as he used the access code of high-ranking Pentagon employee to sign on. The This gave him the power to delete files, copy secret 25 information, and even crash the system. As he shipped it through battlefield uh, simulation data, artificial intelligence files, and reports on current weaponry. The agents worked frantically in their terminals, trying yet again to establish who he was and where he had come from.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me just say one or two things about the reading first. There is a sound, a vowel sound like "e" for egg, and you're using it a lot actually. So I heard it where I shouldn't hear it. For example, him sounded like hem, and crash sounded like creche. So intelligence and intelligence. So you're using too much, a bit too much. So you need to try to find the different vowel sounds, like him, o, different ones. There are too many sounds. So and also the weaponry. Weaponry. Do you know this word weaponry?
Weaponry.
Weaponry. Yes.
Yeah. Just I think that it's come out from the weapon.
Weapon. Yeah. Weapon.
Yeah, weapon.
That word, that's interesting because you know that is the word where you should use the sound. In that word, you should use an even though the spelling is ea. Sometimes that is an like head, bread, weaponry. So they carefully attacked him on a computer screen as he used the access code of a high-ranking Pentagon employee to sign on. This gave him the power to delete files, copy secret 25 information, and even crash the system. I don't know what that 25 is. Copy secret information. I think that 25 is a mark there. So copy secret information and even crash the system. As he sifted through battlefield simulation data, artificial intelligence files and reports on current weaponry, the agents worked frantically at their terminals, trying to yet again to establish who he was and where he had come from. So please find a word, Farhad, one word, and describe it to us.
Okay. Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to.
I'll do one. You look for one. I'll do one first. Okay? So everybody guess mine, and then Farhad look for another. So my word is going to be something like arms, guns, bullets, tanks.
Weaponry.
Weaponry.
Weaponry. Yes. So Farhad, have you got yours now?
Okay. Okay. Something that create to create okay, a genius, something that is a file that but
intelligence of genius. Well, that's an interesting point. Is intelligence and genius the same thing? I don't know. What were you saying, Azar? Did you say something?
Yeah. I want to know what does sift through mean.
Sifted.
Yeah.
S-I-F-T-E-D.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's a kind of going through something. For example, I would use this word if you're going through something like sand or small particles like sugar or something like that, and you're sifting it through your fingers. It's running through your fingers, and you're looking in it to see what's there. So when you say sifted through, it shows that feeling like the sand is running through your fingers and you're really looking for any little pieces inside the sand. So here it's not sand, so it's a little bit metaphorical, but it means you're really looking through every little part.
It's like examine or something like
Yes,
that.
it is a kind of examine, but it gives you a special feeling of detailed searching, sifting through, just making sure you don't miss anything. So it's...
Okay, I understand.
I think you might literally use this word in cookery or something like that. But it's used here to say going through everything, looking carefully to see that you haven't missed anything. So now...
in this case, it means looking through.
Yeah, there are quite a few words, aren't there? For looking through, examining things, checking things.
Okay.
Oh, how many words could we could sit and find a few more words, couldn't we? Sifting is a kind of action where you're looking through something, maybe feeling it a bit as well.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So next we've got Igor. I have to move the screen. So, Igor, there's yours.
Pentagon generals insisted it was essential that he should be found and put out of action. It would have been relatively simple to shut him out of the Pentagon network, but he would survive to attack again, and his identity and the information he had already stolen would have remained 35.
Yeah, that 35. I've got some markers in the text markers. They're line markers, but I'm not using them anymore, so that's got to be deleted.
Remain unknown. American cyber agents were ordered to continue chasing him through the electronic maze.
Yeah, your reading is getting better. That's for sure. So, over to you to find some interesting words. Maybe what's your first word that you could find here?
Another word, synonym of data.
You can say data or data. I say data.
Information.
Yes.
Information.
Yes.
Information, yeah. Okay. And what about a word which means that you can't do without it?
Sorry?
A word which means you can't do without it.
It's essential.
It's essential, yes. Yeah. And is there another interesting word there? Well, there are one or two, aren't they? All right, another one. A word which means that after everything has happened, you are still there. You're not dead, or you're not affected too badly, but after everything survive, yes. Right, so now moving on. What's this one? I think this is the next one. Just a moment. Yeah. Let's see. Just a second here. Yes, it's suddenly changed font. I don't know why. So we've got this one next. So let's read that. Next reader, that will be after Igor. We've got Juliet. Are you on the mic still?
Yes.
So can you see the text?
Yeah, I have opened this document.
Okay, good.
The process can often be a hit and miss because of the vast amount of traffic on the internet, and the hacker's path was simply too long and
Is that circuitous? Let's see. There's probably a couple of different pronunciations of this. Circuitous. So, going round and about, very long, not direct.
I see.
Yeah.
To follow to its end. The agents almost gave up hope. Then all the efficient police work was brought to bear. In the cyber age...
Brought to bear.
To bear. Thank you. In the cyber age...
Cyber.
In the cyber age, where the hackers can hang out. On the internet, of course. They chat with each other through their screens.
Good, okay, that was nicely read. So could you do the same again? Find a word?
Okay. Can it be two words?
Yeah, if they go together well, you can say two words. That sometimes in taboo we do that. So especially if they go together to form a kind of unit, collocation or some kind of meaning together. Yeah, that's fine.
It means traditional.
Oldie-fashioned.
Yeah.
Oldie-fashioned is a bit strange, isn't it? But there it is, oldie-fashioned police work. Yes, it's a kind of, I don't know why they say it's oldie-fashioned instead of old-fashioned, because usually we say old-fashioned, but maybe, well, people do this sometimes. Oldie-fashioned, it's not quite the usual way, but I've heard people say that, changing the end like that, oldie. I think it's a little bit of a joke, really, almost like old-fashioned and making the English old as well. But okay, good. So I hope we can figure out the next part, but we've got to move on quickly because we're more than halfway through and we haven't read it yet. So let me move down. There we've got the next two. So we've got. I have to restyle that because the style suddenly changed. Okay, so who's next? We've got me, then Ida again, with a dog.
Moreover, he was a particularly chatty individual who was eager to engage other hackers in email conversation. Naive too.
Naive. Naive. Do you know this word, naive?
No.
It's like gullible. If you're born, I wasn't born yesterday, you know, I have a lot of experience. I'm not so naive. Oh. Naive is, I think it's related to the French verb to be born, like you've just been born, naive. But yeah, and usually when people say particularly, they don't put any stress on the beginning of the word, so it kind of tick is the first part, which is quite stressed. So, moreover, he was a particularly chatty individual who was eager to engage other hackers in email conversation. Naive, too. So, go on, read on.
Before long, the informant had established that data stream cowboy lived in the United Kingdom. He even gave out his telephone number.
Right, so that was quite short. So can you continue as well? Go to the next one as well.
Jubilant, a senior AFOSI agent, contacted the computer crime unit in Scotland Yard for assistance. Data stream cowboy's number was traced to a house in a cul-de-sac in Colindale, part of the anonymous North London suburbs. In Cold War days, it was have seen a classic address for a ship hideaway.
Yeah, why do you think it would be a classic address for a spy's hideaway?
I don't know, what is the meaning?
Yeah, I was watching TV last night, and I was watching one of those documentary programs about the police in the cars on the roads, chasing people and stolen cars and things like that. And they picked up a car which looked very normal, and they make the same point that it would be a classic car for somebody to use who didn't want to be noticed. And you know, if you watch James Bond, what type of car does James Bond drive?
Aston Martin.
Yeah. What Ida, have you seen James Bond ever?
Yeah, yes, of course.
You know, what do you think that his car is a good car for a spy to drive?
No, really not.
No, it's not, is it? Real spies don't drive such vehicles, do they? They drive something a bit. What adjective could you use to describe or to recommend for somebody who's a spy the kind of car they want to buy?
A discreet?
Yeah, give me a descriptive adjective to say something about the kind of places they should stay in and the kind of cars they should drive.
A discreet, a simple car, a discreet car.
Descript car.
Discreet.
Descript. What's that? Descript.
It's like exactly what you have described. It's the perfect word.
And do you know the word discrete? Ah, discrete. I thought you said descript. Discrete.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, discrete. So okay. And also, if something shows up, there's a C word beginning with C-O-N. It's very what? C-O-N word.
C-O-M.
If it's the opposite of discrete, it shows up. It sticks out like a sore what? It sticks out like a sore. This is an idiom. It sticks out like a sore part of my body. Sore thumb. Yes, and it's very what?
Convertible. Constant.
Conspire.
You got the next letter?
Conspirative. Conspirative.
Conspirative sounds like it's always trying to join up with the revolutionaries or something, but this word means it sticks out a lot. Everybody notices it. The next letter is a C again.
Conspicuous.
I'm trying to describe the word conspicuous. Do you know this word?
No.
No.
Ah,
Conspicuous.
okay. Conspicuous. And you can make an opposite of it by putting a prefix in front of it to describe or recommend to James Bond what kind of car he should drive.
Inconspicuousness.
Inconspicuous, yes.
Inconspicuous.
Inconspicuous. Yeah. So, you haven't described your word yet, have you? So could you choose one?
Okay. It's quite similar to be willing to do something. If you are willing to do something, you can also say you are. It's a verb.
Eager.
Yeah, it's eager.
Ah, yes. Which animal is eager?
What?
Which animal
It's a bird.
is it? Yeah, eager. Yes, but there's an animal which is often called an eager one of these, like not an eager sheep or an eager cow. But do you know an eager animal?
It's a big bird, no? Isn't it?
No, not an eagle. Not an eagle.
Ah, okay. Sorry.
An eager, and it works very, very hard, and it doesn't mind working hard. It builds dams, and it fishes in the river.
I don't know.
An eager
Bear?
beaver. Beavers are described as eager beaver. So a bee is described as busy, a busy bee. So, right, there's another interesting word there. I wonder what cul-de-sac is. Well, I know what it is, but do you know what it is? Cul-de-sac.
Where it is?
It's in the second of those two. A house in a cul-de-sac in Collingdale.
I don't know what it is called.
There's another word I could use for cul-de-sac because I lived in one once. Two words maybe. One word would be close. I lived in a house years ago and the address was 10 Vincent Close. And if you see an address close, not avenue or street, then chances are it's a cul-de-sac. Can you give me another word to describe cul-de-sac?
What is cul-de-sac?
Nearby?
Well, that's what we're trying to find out, Eagle, but it's maybe the other word I was trying to think of is...
Nearby?
Nearby, that really just says it's not far away. No, it's speaking about...
Oh, it's, I will say what, dead end.
Dead end street, yes, it's a dead end street. So you go down it and you can't go through. No, you see the special sign on the way in saying that
there is no way.
There is no, yeah, it's like a T, isn't it, with a red top.
Impasse.
Yeah, but in English, impasse means like we're stuck, we're like a stalemate. Okay, so now we've got some more, haven't we? Just a bit more there, 2 more bits there. So let's go on. This will be back to Antonina.
American agents flew to London and staked out the address with British police officers. Detectives were cautious, however, about making an immediate arrest because they wanted DataStream Cowboy to be online when they entered the house, so that he would be caught in the act.
Yeah, now here is when I saw the words "caught in the act," an idiom leaped up into my mind straight away. Do you know an idiom for "caught in the act"?
Caught red-handed.
Yeah, and that should be in there, shouldn't it? Because, or we should mention it. So now, okay, so let's think of some interesting words there. So it's quite short. See if there's an interesting word that we can describe there.
It's when you are wary and you want to act not noticeably.
Courteous.
Yes, but I think it's pronounced a bit differently.
What is
Cautious.
Cautious.
Cautious, yeah.
Cautious.
Okay, so now, also, when you say London, that's like those words, for example, love and calm, and those words where the O letter actually sounds like an so it's London. And some people, when they read the London, say London or something, but it should be London. Okay, that's good. So, moving down. That's it, and then the pencil marks the end. So, Azar, can you try this long one for us?
Okay. One of the detectives walked up silently behind a young suspect and gently removed his hands from the computer.
Just a moment, I can't hear you. Can you turn up a little bit if you possibly can? And also that word suspect, is not suspect because you know, I think I know why you said suspect, because if you read it like that, it must be a verb. So that's an interesting word to put in that page I have about this. You know, I'm always collecting some interesting ones. I had one yesterday, origin and original. So suspect is a noun, and suspect is a verb. He suspected nothing. The suspect was...
Most they are written different or...
No, they're the same, and quite often, I even mentioned it in this lesson earlier. I can't remember when somebody was describing a word, and they said, I think it was actually the first one, Ido, at the beginning, and she had a word, and investigation or something, I can't remember the word, but sometimes when you change from an adjective to a noun to a verb, sometimes the spelling changes, the whole word changes, but very often just the stress pattern changes. And there is a kind of pattern to it, because what we notice is that very often verbs have the stress at the end.
We must say suspect, or
that sounded like the verb. I suspect nothing happened. So let's have a look. I suspect nothing happened. That's a verb.
I doubt.
Suspect.
We can say, I doubt nothing happened.
Yeah. So when I use it as a verb, it's suspect. Suspicious. Suspect is a verb, and as a noun, it's the suspect.
Suspect.
Yes, we rounded up the usual suspects.
Yeah.
We rounded up the usual suspects. This has got to go in that page that I've got about this.
There is difference in pronunciation.
Yeah, because there has to be, really, you know, because in English, I don't regard it as weird, really, because for me, all of the languages around Northern Europe do this a bit. English does it quite a lot. French also does it, but you know, the stress patterns in English are very important.
But to my mind, French is more complicated than English.
Well, I think sometimes English changes a lot in intonation. French does a bit too. They share some things, but in pronunciation they are quite different. But they do have some common ideas in the way they work. Yeah. But anyway, this is a very common pattern that the verbs are stressed more at the ending. Here's another one. This one can be a verb or a noun.
Produce.
All right.
Produce is a verb. Produce, like suspect. So you see, produce, suspect, and produce is vegetables or something like that.
Okay.
So let's get back and read the rest of it.
Okay. For a 16-year-old Richard Price, a music student, it was the shock of his life. They thought they were going to find a super criminal, and they just found me, a teenager playing around on his computer. Says Price now. My mother had noticed people sitting outside her house for a few days beforehand, but I didn't think much of it. I never thought I would get caught, and it was very disturbing when I did. It had just been a game or a challenge from which I got a real buzz. It was unbelievable because the computers were so easy to hack, like painting by numbers.
What's that unbelievable there? That doesn't look right, does it?
Incredible. Yeah?
But it is not unbelievable.
I don't know why. I hadn't noticed that before, but I don't know why it's marked like that either. It must be something to do with the web page and the way I've made this copy. So, yeah, because it's incredible and unbelievable.
Maybe they are synonyms, I see. Unbelievable.
Yeah, but it's definitely mixed up there. That's not good. So can you find a nice good word there to describe?
Okay, I'll try. To annoy something.
Disturbing.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, there's quite a big difference between annoy and disturb, isn't there? So,
but in some meaning they explain the same meaning, I think.
Yeah, synonyms are very interesting because usually I often think about a Scottish mathematician. Maybe you've heard of him. Have you heard of a Scottish mathematician? His name is Venn, V-E-N-N. And he,
can you type it?
yeah, and he started to analyse and make some mathematical analysis of sets and groups and diagrams of how things are related. And for example, there's a word mutually exclusive which he used in some of his mathematics to show that, for example, females and males are two sets and they are mutually exclusive. Do you know what that means, mutually exclusive?
No.
Let me write that, see if you can explain it. Mutually exclusive. You know, I would say that these two words we were describing just now are not mutually exclusive. One was disturb. What was the other one?
Annoy.
And annoy. They have something in common.
Jointly. Or...
Yeah, they have something in common, but two sets can be completely separate. For example, males and females, or cats and dogs. But these two words have a lot of common ground, and which he used to call the intersection. Okay, so now we've got the really difficult part, which is tricky because we've even got difficulties with sharing the screen. So what we need then is to look through the brown ones and read those now. Whoa, and they go in somewhere. So we've got the first brown one here. Let's go through those and read some of those and see what words they have, and then we've got to try, if we can, to put them in the text. We're not going to finish this, are we? So let's see what we can do. Maybe we can get one or two started. So, we've lost him. Igor, are you there still?
Yes.
So could you read number one?
The agents had informants who cruised the internet, and one of these made the breakthrough. He found that DataStream Cowboy hung out at Cyberspace, an internet service provider based in Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle is what's his name from Microsoft? He lived there, didn't he? But Bill Gates, he came from there, and also the big coffee company comes. What's that big coffee company? They sell coffee all over Europe. Starbucks, I think they come from Seattle as well, I think. And what does hang out mean, Igor?
Hang out. It
could be a verb or it could be a noun.
Yes, to go out.
I get an idea that if I'm hanging out, I'm just kind of spending time in a place, relaxing a bit, just maybe hoping to meet certain people who go there regularly. So that's hanging out. So, Juliet, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, let's move down to the second insert. So, B.
It was futile. DataStream Cowboy always bounced around the world before launching an attack, and it was impossible even to establish in which country he was sitting.
Yeah, can I just ask you to read that word so that it doesn't sound like something I eat? Because there's two words, there's lunching and launching, and could you just say both of those words together? Launching and lunching.
Launch and lunching?
Yeah, that's it, yeah, because you read very quickly as well. Can you explain what this word means? Futile. It was futile.
Without any result, I suppose.
Yeah, like a waste of time. I was banging my head against a brick wall. Total waste of time and effort. Yeah, good. So now we've got quite a long one for C. So, okay, back to Ida for C, please.
Posing as a courier, one of the agents knocked on the door. As it was opened by a middle-aged man, 8 policemen silently appeared and stripped into the house. The officers quietly searched the downstairs and first floor. Then, creeping up the stairs to a loft room, they saw a teenager hunched in his chair, typing frantically away on the keyboard on his 700-pound PC World computer. They had found DataStream Cowboy.
Yeah, so his computer was just quite a cheap thing that he bought from PC World. Some interesting words there, I think. Quite a long insert. So, yeah, futile is a bit hopeless, and so posing as a courier, that's another word. You see, there's lots of shared vocabulary between French and English, but the way that those words are used and pronounced is quite different in the different languages. But courier comes from French verb to run. So, any other words there, Ida, that you're not too sure about, or?
What is hunch? Teenager hunch?
Yeah, let me see if I can do it. Hunching is hunched is the Hunchback of Notre Dame. You know, he's just not really stretching up properly, not sitting up properly. So if you see somebody hunched in their seat, you might say, "Sit up properly, sit up straight."
It's like to be slouched in a sofa or wherever.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, he's just curled up a bit. Okay, and Right, that's good. And frantically is an adverb meaning frantic. Well, we know that one, don't we? How can we say? Well, frantic is almost a feeling that you've got to do it now. Oh, everything's so urgent. A little bit pressing for time, and frantically, as though there isn't much time, and it's very important every minute. Tapping away. What's the difference between tapping and touching?
I don't know.
You might tap something like you might tap a nail with a hammer, but if you do, then you don't hit it very hard. Just like this, just maybe knocking against it gently. So when you are typing with your fingers, that action, pressing your fingers, is a bit like tapping. Now, next one, 4. That goes over to... You're always getting the short ones, Antonina, but yours is number 4.
This was a new type of warfare, a cyber attack, at the heart of the most powerful military machine on Earth. But the American military had been preparing for cyber war, and it had a new breed of agent ready to fight back against the infiltrator.
Great, okay. Now, we're definitely not going to be able to put all of these inserts into the right place right now. So I think we'll just be ready to do that. And then you can actually ask questions about it in my Facebook group for Verbling students. So I'm just going to post the link for that now as I move that to the next one. So just send the link here, and you can join it if you can. And I've got the answer for how these go, but I think I'll have to leave it for you. So for right now, we're just going to just check we understand all the text. So you can do the next one for me if I move down to 5 as well. Can you read the next one, 5?
Okay. Having identified his location, subsequent telephone line check revealed that the hacker was first dialing into Bogota, the Colombian capital, and then using a free phone line from there to hack his way into the sensitive military sites.
Great. And last will be the next one here, 6. We've got 2 more actually to finish before we finish. So let's move on and just read those, and then we can try to find the answers. If anyone posts the right answer, like for example, number 1 is C, that's not the right answer. Number 2 is D, that's how you write the answer. So I'd like to leave that with you. So number 6, please, Azar, can you read it for me? Azar, are you still there? Okay, Igor.
Yes. What to read?
Can you read 6? But how?
But how they used a process called fingering, in which they tried to detect every computer that Data Stream Cowboy had used as stepping stones before attacking them. A computer gives its own address in the first few bytes of any communication, and the agents tried to trace Data Stream Cowboy's path backwards.
Great, okay, very good. So we'll just finish off with your last one there, G. So, could you read that one as well, please, Igor?
The internet automatically brought hackers to the
the very gates.
To the very gates of the Pentagon's most secret files, and it could not be policed.
It could not be policed. Policed is used as a verb there. It could not be policed.
As it had been deliberately set up without controls to ensure ease of access for nuclear survivors.
Right. Sitting among the debris, the American cyber agents saw a silent alarm throb on one of the many terminals packed into the 30-foot by 30-foot room. And Data Stream Cowboy, as he called himself, was online again. So we can see for sure that that's got to go up a bit. That one's got to go up. So, right. And sorry that this page has been thrown together a bit quickly, but okay, I have to leave it there. Hope you can try to figure out where they all go. But I haven't got time to finish it right now, so I'll have to leave that with you and get on with the next lesson, to which you're all invited. So I hope you can hop in. But actually, I think the next lesson might be not really the best one for you because it might be too easy. So see you again anyway. I'm going to have 2 more lessons today. But
thank you.
I'll see you again shortly. Thank you very much, Igor, and everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.